Okay.
I wonder, like, what advice do you have for aspiring comic book artists that would love to work for Marvel someday?
What advice would you have for us, aspiring comic book artists that want to work for Marvel?
Draw good.
Draw good. I mean, I think that says it all.
As you can imagine, Marvel, and really all the companies, they have their pick of the best artists. Everybody now wants to draw comics because it pays a lot more money than it did in the olden days. So I was serious when I said draw good. You've got to look at the artwork in the books today and look at the best artwork and say to yourself, can I draw as good as that or better? Because if you can't, why would they hire you? They've already got guys who are doing that. So it's really difficult to become an artist at any of the big comic book publishers today. You've got to be really good, and you've got to be at least as good as the artists who are now drawing the strips. And you've got to have a good enough eye that you can look at your artwork and compare it with today's artists. Some people, it may sound funny, some people don't have that eye. Sometimes somebody will show me samples of artwork, and I try not to look at them because I don't like to tell somebody that isn't good enough. But if I'm forced to look at something, a guy will say, Stan, what do you think of this? Can I draw for Marvel? And it'll be terrible. And I say to myself, couldn't he see that it was, I mean, here's the Marvel art, here is his. Couldn't he see the difference? So that's what I mean when I say you've got to have a good eye where you can tell the difference between good artwork and bad. And that advice is probably not helping you at all, but that's the way it is.
Alrighty, Stan, we're actually over here now. I know I'm making you go bounce from back, forth, back, forth, back to forth. But this gentleman has a question for you. Hey, if you could play any superhero in a movie, in your movies, who would you play and what villain?
Tony Stark. He's rich and handsome and glamorous and the women all love him. And what was the second point? Oh, I'd play any villain. I'd like to be Dr. Doom. They didn't do Dr. Doom right in the movie. I'd like to show them how to do it.
Dr. Doom, that's a good one. I mean, he's not in the comics as much as I want right now, but man, he's cool. He's cool. I got another question for you right up here.
I agree. I think I heard that.
Hi, Stan. I don't actually have a question. I just wanted to say thank you. Your character, Peter Parker, had a lot of influence in my life. Growing up an introverted kid and shy. And I just want to say thanks for making a place in this world for people like us who maybe didn't feel like, fell out of place or something. I know it's a lot for you to try to...
You are very welcome. That sounded so good. I should have asked them to repeat it so I'd hear it twice.
Right on. We have, we're going to go right up front, right up here.
You kind of stole in my thunder, but I wanted to tip my hat to you and thank you for having so much influence on geek culture in general. I mean, you've been quite an impact on everyone's lives here. But I wanted to ask you, Spider-Man's my favorite, obviously, Peter Parker, and I wanted to know, with great power comes great responsibility. How does that play a part in your life? What's an example that you've had an experience with that?
It's funny. You're sitting right there, and it's coming through so loud it sounds muffled. So it sounded to me like, all I got was taking off your hat. Do you have a hat you're selling? Is that what it was? I'm sorry. You tell me what he said. Well, I've never really had great power, but I've tried to be responsible. I mean, I try to be nice to this guy because I work with him, although he doesn't deserve it. Try to be nice to my wife and daughter. I pay my bills when I can. I don't know, I never really thought about it because I've never had that kind of power, but I feel anybody who has, and today, power really is money. I mean, if you're very rich, you want to just be good to people and spread it around a little, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of. I don't know too many superhumans, real-life superheroes, so I can't speak for them. That was really a dull answer, wasn't it? I want you to forgive me. I sometimes give dull answers. Make believe you didn't hear them.
Hi. I'm here with my 9-year-old Swedish daughter. She doesn't speak in English, but she's wondering if you had to pick a favorite character out of all your superheroes, which one would that be? Like, not the best one, but your personal favorite. And she's also wondering if you had anything to do with the creation of Storm in X-Men.
Last part was what?
A Storm character in X-Men.
If I had to pick one character, not from the X-Men, I mean just one character, I'd probably pick Spider-Man, only because he seems to be the most popular around the world. And I'm no dummy, I'm going to go with the most popular one. As far as Storm, yeah, I think I created. Did I create Storm? He says I had influence on it, but I didn't directly create her. I don't think it's hard for me to remember. That's a good answer. He says it's a good answer, so we'll go.
So that influence, not creation. Right on. Good one. Have another question right back here, Stan. Right in the middle. Hey, Stan, thanks for a lot of good reading over the years, number one. Number two.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You heard that, good. Out of all the characters that have had titles and then they got canceled or for whatever reason, what character would you like to see come back, maybe in a movie or something?
What character was like that?
All the titles. What character has a title? What character would you want to come back in the movie?
Did we have any characters that were canceled? I don't remember. Who was
There's
canceled?
several characters.
Give me one.
They're not canceled,
No, I can't think of any of our heroes that were canceled.
but you have villains like Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo doesn't, but he's not a main character. The question was, who would I like to bring back for a movie? Oh, I'd like to have every one of them for a movie. We're going to be working on the Black Panther. We're going to be working on the Inhumans. Yeah! We're going to work on Ant-Man. And there's even one I didn't make up that we're working on.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I don't know, one of yeah, something about the galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. It's very hard for me to remember anything that I didn't create.
Right on. Good answer, Stan. Okay, we're actually now bouncing back here. This gentleman has a question for you.
Hi. I was wondering where you got the idea for Gambit, because he's kind of been one of my favorites.
He's asking, where did you get the idea?
I didn't create Gambit. Why didn't you ask me something else?
So we'll put that in.
I didn't create Gambit, and I didn't create Deadpool, who is very popular, and I'm damn angry that I didn't create him. And the same with Wolverine. I didn't create him. I don't know, I missed the boat somehow.
I think those are the quotes of the show. Here we go, Stan. Have this gentleman.
Hello, Stan. Thank you. I have a two-part question. Do you have any tattoos yourself, and how do you feel of people collecting your drawings on their bodies permanently?
Do I have any tattoos and what?
And how do you feel about people collecting your characters on their body and signing them?
I don't understand it. Every time I do an autograph session, a few people will say, will you sign my arm or sign my leg or something? I'm very flattered, but I don't know what they do with it. I mean, what? I could see saying, would you put it on a check? But well, I'm not going to mention, this guy all his thoughts have to do with sex.
No.
He says he can understand the girls wanting it.
Yeah, the girls wanting them because, they get to sleep with Stan.
I think that's enough.
Good answer, good answer. Keep it clean, family show. Thanks, Stan. How about a question for you?
When you started creating your characters, did you think that you would make it this far?
When you start creating your characters, you think you can get this far. When you were creating your characters, you think you can get this far.
Not really. In the old days, when we were doing these books, all we thought about is we hoped the books would sell so that we would keep our job and be able to pay the rent. In a million years, I wouldn't, and none of us would have thought that there'd be big movies and big panels like this and Comic-Cons with people talking about them. And no, I'm still surprised. I still half don't believe it.
Right on. This gentleman.
Tell you another embarrassing thing. Sometimes I was at one of these once, and I thought the question was, or I thought the remark was, "Thank you very much, Dan, it's over." And I said, "Thank you, you were a wonderful audience," and everybody shouted, "No, we're not done yet." And I realized I don't answer anything anymore. I don't even try to pretend I know what's being said. So go ahead, why did I mention that?
Let's try one right here. Hey, buddy. Go ahead.
What was your
Hey
favorite?
Stan,
Hang on. Go ahead.
What was your favorite story arc that you've ever written?
What is your favorite story?
Gosh, see, unfortunately, I'm my biggest fan, so I love them all. But I think maybe the Silver Surfer stuff with the Fantastic Four, that we had a run of Silver Surfer stories, and I kind of like those a hell of a lot.
Hey Stan, what did you think of the most recent Spider-Man movie, and what are you looking forward to in the next year's sequel?
What did you think about the most recent Spider-Man movie? What did you look forward to?
Well, obviously, the thing I'm looking forward to